Hey everybody, I just want to come and share. This is going to be a little tutorial video, but I'll give you a sneak peek of what I'm going to show you how to make getting all tongue twisted. But anyways, I made this video and when my computer died, and then of course I lost everything, so the actual tutorial of me making these is gone because I lost all my videos when they had to totally redo my hard drive. But I will show you the finished product, and then I'll just do, after this, I'll do a quick tutorial if you're interested in seeing how I did it. I'll just redo it again. But that's the finished product because I'm not going to have time to let it dry and everything like I did. But anyways, here it is. I got this idea actually from Stampington. I think it was this Stamper Sampler magazine, and it was the January, February, and March of 2015 issue. I had the page marked sometimes, so this is where I got the idea. If I can find the stupid thing. Oh, here we go. So yeah, that's where I got the idea. Love it. Was totally inspired by it, so I made my own. And this is my finished product. I used air dry clay, which I'll show you in the tutorial, and this Dina Wakley Media clear stamps. And this stamp set is so versatile and just totally awesome. And you can get this stamp at Callie Crafts and Supplies in her store. She carries this, and so head on over if you're interested. This stamp is really versatile for your mixed media, and this is what I made out of it, and just making cards in general. It has really cool, it has some sentiments on it, and just, I love the detail. Look at that. I like, her name is on there, Dina Wakley, and just really cool stamp set. So head on over there if you're interested, and let me show you what I did with it. So these are just air dry clay, so they're really light. I mean, they're like a wafer. And and I just stamped with the different stamps on there and then touched it over, but you'll see the tutorial. But anyways, you can use these on your mixed media layouts, your cards, because they are light. And I used air dry clay for this, but you can also use regular Sculpey, Primo, whatever, and bake it and make it hard. And because it's air dry clay, they don't dry flat. They kind of, you know, which I kind of like because I want that textury mixed media. But you can make jewelry pendants and anything. So yeah, these just turned out really cool. I added some trim on those. This one I like. That's the one with the name sign in it. That one. Some I poked holes in, some I just left, and I'll glue them on card pieces. This one turned out really cool. Love it. And these are the bigger ones. Did I show you those? Some little ones. Okay, and then I also, same technique, just different stamp. I did, this is the air dry clay, and I have just a little Michael's dollar stamp with the baby feet, and I made it look like a plaque so you could put it on a baby card. And I didn't color it or anything, but it's the feet. I don't know if you could see it good. And then I did, well, there's another one with the feet. And then I had one with the hands, and you can see I sprayed it. But these are cute to just put in baby layouts or something. And then here's another one, and I kind of hung it. You can make a, where is it? I can make a first ornament out of that. Here's the feet that I colored up. Isn't that cool? Just to, you know, put on a baby card or something. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to now clear this desk and I'll get into the tutorial. So if you're interested, stay tuned. So on with the tutorial. First of all, I'll show you what I used. And number one is the Dina Wakley Media Clear Stamps. Again, you can get this stamp. Barb carries it in her store, which is Callie's Crafts and Supplies, and I will put the link to her store right in the description so you can click on it and head over there if you're interested. Second of all, I use paper clay. This she does not carry in her store. I taped mine shut. Let me just cut it open here so I can show you. But I got mine, man, I've had this for over a year. And I just got it at Michael's. And I'm sure you could get it online. It's creative paper clay. You do not bake this. You shape it and let it air dry, and then you paint it. This is perfect because it's light, like paper, kind of. And so it's good for making, you know, pieces to put on top of cards or something lightweight. And, oh, what was I going to say? I don't know what I was going to say. Like I said, it's air dry. It stays nice. Oh, you could put this in any mold, any craft mold too. So, yeah, just put it in the mold, pop it out, and let it air dry. So that's what I use. Mine is in white. I believe it comes in all different colors. And it stays really nice and soft. Like I said, I've had it for about 2 years now. And I just tape it shut and it still stays soft. I have a clay rolling tool. Don't necessarily need that. You can use a rolling pin or your hand or whatever. A tip for using clay is baby powder, kind of like when you're making cookies and you know you're cutting out and you're using the flour to prevent from sticking. I'm using my glass table, so I hope you can see this good because I have a glass top, so you can see my camera there. But okay, so let's get started. So and then the craft paints, just regular cheapo craft paints in pastel colors or anything you want, any colors you want, I should say. If you don't have craft paint, you can just use your sprays, like Lindy's or these Color Bloom sprays and spray them. You can use Rub and Buff. I use ink to ink around my edges. So let's get started. Oh, and then I have this little cutter that you can cut some out to give it that ruffly edges, but you don't have to. The stamp will do it all. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is just reach in here and take a hunk of my clay out, and it feels like cookie dough. It's really, really cool. And just work it around, get it warmed up in your hands. My hands look awful. And it's pretty soft. It's way softer than regular Sculpey clay. But like I said, you can use the baked clay too. This is just for if you want them lighter. I like the paper clay. I'm not gonna do a two-part video where I'm gonna let this dry for 24 hours. So I kind of want to sprinkle a little powder on my desk just so it doesn't stick. Not too much, just a little baby powder. There you go, and you can put it on your hands too. Okay. And flatten your clay out as much as you can, and then roll it to the thickness that you want, which is probably like maybe 1/8 of an inch, I like, depending on how thick you want it. And just like you're making a pizza or cookie dough. Just roll it out. Do. It's Saturday, so it's noisy here. Everyone's home. Although I think it's noisy here all the time, unless I'm in the middle of the night. But whatever. Okay, so that's pretty thin. It's probably, I might have even got it too thin. But no, I don't think so. See? So there we go. And I don't mind, like I like the little crackles in it, because like I said, this is paper clay, so it gives it that look. Okay, now I'm gonna pick my favorite stamp to use with this, and I think it has most of the detail. Alright, so then all you do is you take one of the stamps, and never be afraid to use your rubber stamps, any rubber stamps. I don't care if they're wood or anything. Dip them in anything. They will clean off. Dunk them in the clay, dunk them in anything. They will clean, especially these mixed media stamps. They're made for doing this. Alright, so then I just take my stamp and I lay it down, and I'm going to press in You don't need your roller, but I'm just kind of doing it. Just press it in, get the print, peel it off, and look how cool that is. And then I take my craft knife and I cut around it to cut it out. You can cut right along the inside of the edge if you want, or I go slightly on the outside just to give it that little bit of border. And I like if you drag the knife, it'll bunch up your clay and make it look tattered or distressed, and I like that look. Because it looks cool. And just cut it out. And like I said, I'll sit and make a bunch of these. I'm not going to do that for this video though. So there we go. And look how frayed the edges are. And let me get my little spatula, which this is from my Cricut, and I don't even use my Cricut. I use this to scoop up my clay. Okay, and there you go. You can see the design in there. And if you don't like those little pieces, pick them off. Okay, so then you just lay this aside and you let it dry for a day. I get like a big cookie sheet or a piece of wax paper and lay it out. And I cut out a bunch of them. Let me do one more with the little one. I like this the little one. This is the one that has her name on it. And again, just, whoops, let me get in frame. And again, just lay your stamp on there, whoop, press it in. And it looks so cool. And cut it out. I like the tattered edges. I think it looks really cool. Whoa, forgot to cut that piece. There. Alright. And there you go. Now I'm not going to let this dry, but let's pretend it did dry. And look, nothing's wrong with my stamps. I just spray them with some stamp cleaner and get the powder off. And so let me wipe this off. In fact, I have my Windex right here that I spray on my glass table. Paper towels. That's why I like to work on a glass table. Alright, so I'm just going to show you on the wet pieces how I just paint it. Now what you want to do is, I like to dry brush it. I don't wet my paint. I use a dry brush. And then I take the paint and just dip your paintbrush in and blot it off so it's just a mist. And just kind of, I should use a darker color. Just dabble. Now when this is dry, the clay's not going to peel off. And I just mix, let me get another paper towel. Let's use my towel here. Wipe your paint off, keep your brush dry. Let me do the purple so you can see it better on camera. And you can mix your, oops, that's needs shaking up. All the oil came out of the paint. Okay. And you can mix your colors too. So there we go. There's some of the purple, so you'll be able to see it better. And again, just blot off your, you want to use a dry brush, dip it in there, blot it off. And then I dust it over and the image will pop. Dust it on the edges. See how cool? You could just leave it like that or whatever. And then I'm going to maybe add a little more green to it. Let me shake it good. Okay, and now I'm into the sagey green. And yep, just mix your colors. It looks no rhyme or reason, just dabble it on there. And look how cool. Now, if you want to make it like an ornament, when your clay is wet, that's when I use like a stick and just poke your hole wherever you want it. Just poke. Right there is good. And then it'll dry and you'll have a little hole piece. You can make a necklace or tie ribbon around it. But anyway, so there you go. That's how I did that. Let me wipe off this paint. And you can put as much as you want. Color it as much as you want. Let's try some spray. I wait until it's dry to do my painting. Just because it's, you know, it's easier. But of course for this tutorial purpose I did not. Let me put my mat down so maybe you can see this better. I'll try to get a close up. Hold on. There. Can I get closer? Well, there we go. Ruined my camera. There. That's about as close as I'm going to get. But anyways, super cool. Now, to get the black edging or any color you want, I use a ink. And I don't use a water-soluble one like Tim Holtz. I'm using archival ink because you could use the other one. Just don't get it wet afterwards because it'll smear. So this will stay dry. And I just take a little dauber thing, which I can't do it hard because this is soft, remember? One of these little things, and I touch the black ink, and just, if you just ever so slightly go over the raised image, look how it'll pop it out. Of course, this would work better when it was all dry. And doing the edge, see how that pops out your thing? And you could do the edges. These are wet, so now if you don't like the black because you want more of a shabby chic look, then just do it in a darker paint or a different color ink. But there you go. Isn't that way cool? Love it. And then that'll dry and I'll be able to, it'll dry like these did. These I was severe in the black, but yeah. And they are super duper cool. Here's my smaller one. Let me just go over this with the ink to show you. You know what? I'm going to try something. Let me use some sprays on this just for kicks and giggles. Now the clay is wet, so it will really absorb in. I'm just using this Prima Color Bloom. Let me unlock it. Blot it a bit. Once that dries, it's going to look a whole lot different. Actually, let me hit the heat gun on it. Alright, and then let me take some, oh, what do I have? A container back here. some of this Inca Gold metallic rub in silver. Put it on my finger. If you have Rub and Buff, that works too. And just, it's wet, so it's not gonna come out because the clay's too dry. But you can do that, trust me, when they're dry. Here, I can show you on one of these dry pieces right here, the feet. See the baby footprints? There we go. So let me zoom out. Sorry, guys. Okay, there's the baby, where am I? Baby feet print, and I'm just gonna rub it. With the silver. Let me do it with some black so you can really see it on camera. You can see it better in person. There, look how it brings out the little feet. Isn't that cute for a baby book? So cute. Alright, that's my little tutorial share with you. Like I said, for your mixed media supplies, go head on over to Callie Crafts and Supplies. She has some really cool stuff. Cool stamps. She has those Tim Holtz Angry Bird stamps. You can make some of these with those too, I gotta believe. Now, why do I keep calling them Angry Birds? I don't know. There's some kind of birds that are really popular right now. But yeah, head on over there. So these are my dried hard pieces, and that's the one I created. And like I said, I just dry brushed and inked over, and they're really, really pretty and cute. Have a good day, guys. Bye.